Hi writers, it's Mrs. P, and today I'm coming to you live from my basement. I was recently cleaning out an old box of things from when I was a kid, very recently, and I came across my diary from when I was in 5th grade. My mom gave me this for Christmas as a place for me to record um, what was happening in my life each day, and she told me someday I would want to look back and remember this. And I thought this is very similar to what we've been asking all of you to do in your Learning at Home Together journals. And I was so excited to open this to find this diary and open it up so I could see exactly what it was like to be a kid in 5th grade. So I opened it up and I started reading. And I wanted to know more. I didn't really give myself a lot of details, so I thought, let me share a little bit of my 5th grade diary with you. Let me just zoom in so you can see it. So here's an entry from January 29th. Today I attended MCS's first pep rally. Went down to Grandma Kay's. Had fun. The next day I wrote, having a great time. And then I wrote, came home so tired. So, if I'm being completely honest, as a grown-up, going back and looking at this journal, my diary, I was a little disappointed. I thought, oh, come on, Gwen. I, why didn't you write more? I'm going to tell you that even though I'm sure when I was in 5th grade I thought I would remember that day, now that I'm older, I don't remember it all at all. I don't remember that pep rally. I don't remember that trip to my Grandma Kay's that day. And so I started thinking, what can I do that can help kids who are writing in their Learning at Home Together journals? How can I help them make sure that the journal entries that they're writing right now about this unique moment in time that we're all living in, how can I help make sure that their journal entries are a little bit richer than the entries that I was writing when I was in 5th grade? So I thought we would talk about is that we would talk about how to create imagery with our words in our journals. And when I say creating imagery, what that means is that the person who is reading our writing, that our words are so clear and so descriptive that the person who's reading it feels like they can picture what it was like. They can see it in their mind because it is so clear. And one of the easiest, it's not necessarily easy, but one of the best ways to help create imagery for your future reader is to really think about including details that relate to your 5 senses. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. There's a series of questions that you can ask yourself to make sure that you're including those senses so that you're creating that imagery for your future reader. Okay, so some of those questions are just things like, what did it look like? And describing that very, very clearly. You can include details about what it sounded like. I bet there was some sound at that pep rally that I was at, but I didn't include any of it. What did it taste like? Some entries will have taste and some won't. What did it smell like? Again, not all entries are going to have smells, and you don't want to force it. If you didn't actually taste something or smell something, you don't have to make it up and add it in, because then sometimes that can make your journal entry almost seem a little awkward or weird. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to be true to yourself and your experience. But ask yourself those questions. You said, what did it smell like? And you say it didn't smell like anything, then just move on. It's okay. You could also ask yourself, how did it feel? And I want you to think about feeling 2 different ways. I want you to think about how something felt if you were touching it or walking through it. What was that physical feeling? And I also want you to think about the emotional feeling, how something makes you feel in your heart. An example of that would be, I know that on the first day of school each year, I have a very excited feeling. I wake up and I feel like I am so excited to see my colleagues, my teacher friends, and to see kids again after the summer break. And I actually can't wait to feel that feeling again when we go back to school after being home for such a long time. But if I described it that way, the excitement that I feel on the first day of school, it might help create that imagery, create that mental picture in the mind of my reader. Okay. I'm going to stop talking about these questions. I'm actually show you what this might look like in writing, and I'm going to use a micro progression to show you this. We use these at school sometimes, and it's where we start off with a piece of writing, kind of like step one. So step one of something that I'm experiencing right now that I hadn't experienced before as part of the shutdown, the COVID-19 shutdowns, is I went to a drive-by birthday. So that's the kind of journal entry that I was writing in my diary. Just like that very basic, no details, does not create any type of picture in the reader's mind. It just doesn't, okay? But if I want to think about growing my writing and making it be more descriptive and being able to create more imagery for my reader, I might bump it up just a little bit, and it might look something like this. Today I was part of a drive-by birthday for my friend because he couldn't have a party. We decorated our car and drove by his house. It was fun. So that probably still doesn't create as rich of an image, but it's definitely a bump up from here. Can you see that? Okay. Let me go take it just a step further. Just zoom in so you can see this. Okay. Today I was part of a drive-by birthday party. We decorated our car with streamers and balloons until it looked like a cake covered in yellow and blue frosting. So what I've done there is I've included some of that what did it look like. As we drove by my friend's house, we honked our horns and called, "Happy birthday!" from the windows. It was as loud as when the Red Sox hit a home run. I was so excited to wish my friend a happy birthday that my palms were sweating and my heart was pounding with excitement. After we got home, my throat even hurt a bit from cheering so loudly. What an awesome day. So I hope that you can see, oh goodness, I hit the wrong button. So I hope that you can see, as I went through this micro progression, how I was able to get the writing to grow. Kind of like from this, step one, a little bit more, a little bit more. I want you to take a look back at a journal entry that you've written, and I want you to compare it to this micro progression. And I want you to say, where is my writing? Is it more in the step one zone, the step two zone, or am I starting to move into the step three zone? I know I could even take this and I could push it a little bit further. So I want you to take a look and see where you are. And then I want you to make a goal for yourself to help push yourself to that next step. Okay. So writers, what I want you to do now is I want you to get your journals and I want you to find a cozy spot or a quiet spot. Find a spot where you can sit, you can look back at your past journal entries, you can make a goal, and then you can start to write again. Maybe you want to go back and you want to try to push yourself to take an old entry and add more details while it's still fresh in your mind. Or maybe you want to choose a new experience to journal about. Either one of those things is completely fine. Those are the choices that we have to make as writers. So that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take good care. Off you go.